Just over a year after Turkish voters opted for a new presidential system and a month following his election victory, President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has announced his new cabinet. And perhaps one of the most noticeable changes concerns the defense structure. Under the former parliamentary system, the Prime Minister headed the government, with a civilian Minister of Defense and Chief of Staff serving under him, well, at least on paper. Despite having been founded as a republic in 1923, Turkey has since suffered 4 coups at the hands of a military that had branded itself as the guardian of the country's democracy. There have been several failed takeover attempts as well. But especially after 2007, when the military published an online memorandum against the election of Abdullah Gül as president, the AK Party has tried to reduce its control on civilian governments. And following the failed 2016 coup, the party became determined to break the grip once and for all, and ensure that things wouldn't just remain in theory. Under the new system, the elected president is at the top of the structure. Beneath him is the Minister of the National Defense, who oversees the Army's top general, the Chief of Staff, as well as the commanders of land, naval, air and special forces below him. It's hoped that this new structure will overcome previous problems in the chain of command. This perhaps became most evident during the attempted coup of 2016, when Prime Minister Binali Yıldırım was unable to make direct orders to commanders not to obey the junta. Now the Turkish president can do that without having to go through their superiors. Former Chief of Staff Hulusi Akar, who the coup plotters took hostage on that July 15 night, now becomes the first general in more than half a century to assume the role of a defense minister. Hasan Basri Yalçın is the director of the strategic studies at the Turkish think tank SETA, and he says the new structure will align Turkish democracy to international standards.
Turkey has solved a very important problem in its history. Right now we can expect that civil governments will define the general principles of how national security will be protected. Then professional soldiers, which are directly controlled by civil authorities, will do their own professional activities rather than dealing with the high politics issues of governments.
Many hope that this will not only mark a new beginning in Turkey, but also an end to its life in the shadows of the military. Hasasu, Straight Talk.